JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone, and welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 7th of September 2022, so welcome everyone, welcome to this Wednesday's morning session, the last trading session, the last webinar for this week. Just a quick reminder. But yeah guys, before we jump into the charts, we always have to quickly read through our risk disclaimers. So yep, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can check out for more information about us. Now then guys, before I go further, yep, I can see in the chat room there, Uwe, yep, good morning to you too. Looks doomy today. Well, depends, actually. You know, never look at it this way. I mean, it's all part of the, you know, part of the market. The market is crazy. You have to kind of accept it. You know, the market in general is a crazy place to be in. So hey, if you want to be in this crazy place, you probably have to be a little bit of crazy yourself. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is, like I said, yeah, the market is how it is. So, you know, let's see what we can squeeze out of it, because with every madness there is an opportunity. Now, looking at this picture here, now Nikkei 225. So we drifted lower, and this is what I talked about previously when I said that, look, we could still fall below those two EMAs here, the 100 and the 208 EMA, and below that 27,524 territory, and we could test that upside line taken from the low of the 20th of June. Well, we've tested it, we've broke it, but we've traveled back above it. Now that's where it becomes quite interesting, basically, to see if we can get that nice, good push back to the upside here. But again, as long as we stay above this upside line and we also climb back above the 208 and the 108 EMAs. If we again drop below this upside line and stay below it, well, guess what, guys? Well, I'm going to go further south. Now, Shanghai Composite, very quickly on that one. This one, again, I talked about this. I mean, it's quite interesting, but at the same time, it's not really, not at this point where I would consider it something like of an entry or something like that. I'm just observing this one. I don't like whenever it gets into a formation like a triangle or a wedge or something like that, you know, or channel. I kind of try to stay away from it until it kind of breaks the boundaries of that formation, and then I'll do something about it. Here is just, like I said, it just it could move sideways right now. It could up and down. If you do like these trades, these kind of you know, approaches, okay, that's fine. The only thing is you have to accept that, you know, at any moment it could reverse sharply against you. Well, to be honest, as always it can, but just have your stop loss in place, or at least you know, go in with something that you're willing to lose or you're comfortable with losing. Well, that's actually the whole point of trading, basically. You know, you don't trade what you're not willing to lose. If you're afraid that you can lose, let's say, you know, 5,000 euros or dollars or yen or whatever you're trading, CHF maybe, then it's, like I said, yeah, just start slow. It's not it's all about just building the account, guys. I mean, consistency, of course, you've heard that several times already. I mean, I'm not kind of, you know, it's not rocket science here, but it's just basically, yeah, consistency. Even if you make 0.01% a day, congratulations, you're actually doing something correct. So yeah. Now then, Jumping into ASX 200, guys, very quickly. Boom, there we go. Beautiful decline, beautiful drop, and yeah, we broke this upside line. And of course, now the question is where it can go further. Well, I'm gonna stick to my rule, and I'm gonna approach this very in a simplistic manner. As long as it's going to stay below this upside line, below that 6,746 territory, I'll go lower. Exactly where? Well, my first little target will be somewhere around here, near that 6,521 level. And if we do clear this one, then my next target is the lowest point of June, near the 6,393 area, approximately around there. So for now, long story short, if we continue to trade below this upside line, below that 6,746, then yeah, we could go further south. The German index, DAX, yeah, this one, yeah, this is where I have to adjust it basically. So, looking at this picture, I mean, I said before that if we drop below that 12,827, 28 territory, then yeah, I'll go lower. We did drop initially briefly, but then we kind of retraced and it started going up and down. Now we're below it on the cash index, so I can say that actually this level no longer is valid. Let me actually reuse it maybe. I'll put it somewhere around here for now. So for now, looking at this picture here, if we do excuse me very much. Yeah, if we do drop below that 12,600 territory, then yeah, I'll go lower. For now, I'm just observing this one. As long as it's going to trade around here, that's not my cup of tea. So I would prefer to wait for a clear breakthrough one of these barriers, the ones that I mentioned before, the 12,600 or the 13,000 and maybe 52, 85, somewhere around here, guys. Okay, guys, I do apologize for going silent there a little bit. I had to clear up my throat. Okay, now, NDQ, which is the NASDAQ US 100 index. So, okay, so yesterday we declined. Okay, that's all fine. We found support in between this area, in between the around that 12,000 mark, and if we look at the cash index right now, we'll see that the index is trading below that psychological 12,000 mark, and the question is, can we drift further south? Well, I would say as long as we stay below that 12,000, well, yeah, there is plenty of room here for the downside. We do have some good potential targets. My first target is this one, the 11,820. If we clear that, then my next target is the low of the 14th of July near the 11,488, so approximately around there. And then we'll take it from there. But again, all that will depend if we continue to trade below that psychological 12,000 mark. Now for the upside, now what I would like to see here for the upside, and that would be a push through these two trend lines here. Now I'm keeping an eye on the level, of course, the 12,451, but it will depend a lot how we'll trade here, how this is excuse me very much. Okay, guys, I hope that did already the trick, so hopefully I'm not going to go silent anymore, but hey, sorry about that. Yeah, my voice is not the best today, but anyway, coming back to the chart. So, looking at this picture here, we can see that, yeah, it might climb back up here, and again, depending on how this is going to trade, I'm not going to keep my mind here on this level right now at the moment. I'm just going to stick to these two trend lines. If we clear both of those, then yeah, I'll go higher. If we cannot do that, then well, maybe the downside scenario is still not off the table, and basically this, this, if we do get a reversal back to the upside here, this could be seen as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So we broke the upside line. We fell below that 30,000, 31,000 mark in general, I would say. And now we kind of closed still above that 31,000. We drifted briefly below that 31,000, but we closed above it. So. But if you take a look at the cash index, we're getting closer again to that 31,000. The question is, can we see a further slide? Now, I need to, I think, tidy up my chart here a little bit. For example, this level, I think that's not going to be very needed. I'm going to stick to yesterday's low, which is roughly around that 31,048. Now, we are currently sitting above it on the cash index, roughly, or actually, no, just while I'm talking, we're actually bang on that area. So that's where it's going to be quite interesting to see if we can actually drop and go further below it. So if we drop below this yesterday's low, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and potentially it could attract more sellers into the game because it would increase the Dow's chances of drifting further south towards the 30,680 zone. That's going to be my first target, where a little holdup might occur, and then if that gets cleared, then my next target is the 30,167. But of course, all eyes are on the psychological 30,000 mark, guys. Now that's going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen. Now, in terms of the upside, from the shorter term perspective, if we climb back above this upside line, I'm not getting rid of it yet. If we do climb back above it and stay above it, then yeah, I'll consider maybe a larger retracement here to the upside, and a larger correction to the upside, and then we'll go from there. We'll keep an eye on this downside line, and then we'll see if we can break it or not. But at the moment, guys, again, we are at this point where we just broke the upside line, so don't get me wrong, still we could see a reversal, it could push back to the upside, but if we do stay below the low of yesterday, then well, I'm gonna continue targeting the downside. Now, in general, in terms of the indices, guys, in the stock market, I would say that look, at the moment everything looks quite doom and gloom, but I would say one thing that look, we're preparing into the going to go into the holiday season, well, again, sometimes we do have these run-ups to before the kind of the holidays. So of course, not always it happens. Just quickly, let me just jump into a monthly on this one. So, for example, last year, for example, we did get a bit of a roller coaster ride. So we did get a nice move to the upside initially, but the main kind of rally happened from spring up and throughout the whole summer. Then we sold off in September, which we're actually doing the same thing right now. Now October was kind of a positive month, so basically, I would say if judging, if we're trying to kind of put some similarities here or something, then yeah, of course, we could say that September might be a bad one here for the bulls, but in general, I mean, if we let's say then we'll go into October, then yeah, we could see a nice rally here, maybe a push higher. So at the moment, I would say there is potential for further declines this month, and we just started the month, so we could go lower here. We could maybe even test the low of June here near the what's the number here, 29,653. We could go all the way there. But again, don't be surprised. I mean, if let's say going into October, we could get a nice push higher. Of course, the question here is, or my question actually, maybe not everybody has the same question, but my question here is that the fact that we have already dropped and we're now trading below that 21-day EMA, can we continue trading that now? For this, I would say Of course, it's too early to say. We're just kind of in the middle right now, above the low of this year, and below this 21-day EMA. So we're in between these two levels. In order for me to, let's say, get comfortable in the, let's say, maybe more of a medium term, then yeah, a push back above that 21-day EMA would be needed, and that's currently roughly around that 32,473 level. Now, in terms of the downside, now this is where it could turn ugly if we do start dropping below that 29,653 territory, guys. If we do drop below this, then yep, well, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low. And guess what? 100-day EMA, here we come. And that could be roughly around that. Currently, it's around 25,000 and a half, something like that. Maybe then it could go to 26,000. So again, it'll depend. But just at the moment, I would say, if you're not really comfortable right now with Dow, hey, that's fine. You can wait for those, But let's put it this way. At the moment, I need to see a clear breakthrough, one of those levels that I just mentioned, the 21-day EMA on the monthly chart, of course. On the monthly charts, a break above the 21-day EMA could open the door towards much higher levels later on. But a drop below the 29,653 territory, which is here, well, that could be quite ugly. At the moment, let's go from the short-term perspective. A drop below the 31,448 level, somewhere around here, and if we continue to trade below it, then yeah, I'll go further south. The XY, the dollar index. So there we go. Boom, beautiful push to the upside. I talked about this and I said that, look, as long as we stay above this hurdle, this highlighted territory, I will go higher. And yesterday we did get a bit of a retracement, and then we pushed further north. So at the moment, I'm still targeting the upside. My next target is the 111 territory. And slightly above that, we do have the 111.31 level right there. Just a quick reminder of what that level is. Let me just jump into a monthly adjust. There we go. And there we go. So this is the target I'm talking about. That's the inside swing low of the lowest point of September of 2001, guys. Yeah, that's going to be my next target for now. Gold, looking at this picture, we dropped below the 1700 mark, and look how well this acted as a good area of resistance. The 1728 level, I talked about this and I said that, well, yesterday actually I've made some adjustments to say that, look, this is, if we do continue to trade below this, then we could see a nice slide, and we did get that slide. We did drop lower. We came closer to the current lowest point of September, near the 1689 area, approximately around there. We came closer to that, and yeah, we need to see a break of this area in order to go lower. So this is the point where I need to adjust my arrow and focus on this. So now the kind of tricky bit here is that if we do drop below that 1689 zone, yes, we could go lower, but my next target will be only the 1681, because that's the lowest point of July, and I want to see if it's going to hold here or not, what's going to happen. If we do clear this, great, we'll go lower. If we cannot, then well, maybe we'll see a bit of a rebound here or something like that. So that's why be very careful for now. Like I said, it could be quite attractive here for the sellers, especially if it falls below that 1689 level. But then keep your eyes on that 1681, and then if that gets cleared, well, guess what? We could start aiming further south. And by the way, this the reason why I'm also saying that this 1681 zone, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on it, because basically we have that 1677 territory here as well, slightly below it, and that's the lowest point of March of 2021, guys. If we clear this, look where we are right now. So I can probably say that we need to draw this highlighted territory like this. So if we do clear this, great, we could go lower, but guys, I mean, this is not really looking very positive. In a way, I would say even that maybe this is forming something of a double top, and especially on the monthly chart. Okay, so we're near our neckline here, guys. Now the question here is, will this be a double top, or will this be a range where we will, let's say, rebound from here and push to the upside? That's a good question, actually, but hey. Let's see what's going to happen. At the moment, I don't want to rush into anything. Again, we're approaching this area. To be honest, I am targeting this highlighted zone. That's the, for now, it looks like a neckline of a double top pattern, but will it end up being something of a range? I would say. Now, that's a good, very good question. Let me just, can I capture this one? There we go. Managed to boom. Can it be seen as a range here? Yes, as well, but I would like to see a nice strong rebound and a break through this downside line. This is going to be something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, so be careful with that one. WTI oil, so I have to admit it's working out nicely. So yeah, there we go. This is what I talked about. Boom. So far, it's you got to hold up near that 90.58, and we are drifting to the downside. Now, the fact that oil is dropping, guys, I mean, yes, it's better for now in the short run. So it's good for the for the consumer. You can fill up more now at the petrol station. So great. However, the problem is always with it's in such scenarios when we have such it's still huge inflation, but the oil prices are falling. Yes, the OPEC increased its output, but yeah, it's sometimes a signal of a kind of a recession coming over. But I don't want to use that word, but it could be something. Again, we can try to predict. Of course, you probably already heard a lot that people are talking about this. So I would say keep that in mind. Don't become a very a bear, or actually neither. Don't be a bear nor a bull. Just take advantage of the market. Step in. Be sometimes a bear, sometimes a bull. Yeah, and it's the market we're talking about. So everybody does it here. So you kind of try just to take advantage of the market, because the market always takes advantage of you. So do the same thing to it as well. Anyway, coming back to this 85.74 territory here, that's what I'm looking at, and at the moment we are breaking it. So in a way, everything is leaning towards the downside. As long as we stay below this hurdle, I'm gonna go further south. My next target is the 81.94 level here. I don't want to drag my arrow here. It's going to be very, very short. So yeah, I'm going to just kind of do this, but actually I'm targeting this 81.94. Bitcoin, so drifted lower yesterday, sold off. To be honest, yeah, it's pretty much straightforward here. It's on a downside and a down move. This highlighted territory, just by the way, just to remind you, that's the 2017-18 this peak in 2017 December that we had. So we've dropped below it. We're now below it, and now my question is, where are we going to end up next? To be honest, I'm still leaning towards the downside, but I would say if in order to go lower, I would like to see a drop below that hurdle here, below this lowest point of June here, near the 1756 territory. Sorry, 17,567 territory, somewhere around here. And as you drop below it, yeah, may lead to some further declines. Now, jumping into a few pairs, guys, very quickly. AUD USD. So, okay, I have to admit it's working out perfect. So I said to you that this is a head and shoulders pattern. We broke the neckline. We had a bit of a flirt with the neckline again, but it acted as a good area of resistance. It was probably for the sellers to step in again, and there we go. We're drifting nicely to the downside. Again, I said to you before, my next target is the 0.6680 zone. But we had already quite a decent move. So if you did capture this move here to the downside, great. Okay, I would say if we struggle to reach this 0.6680 zone, that's where it's your cue to exit. At the moment, I'm still kind of, like I said, I'm still gonna continue targeting that area, maybe, or at least close to that area, and then I'm gonna take it from there. If you want to go lower, guys, at this point in time, I would say watch it. What it's gonna do next. So at the moment, I would say if I would need to enter something right now, I would stay away from it. I would just keep an eye on it. I want to see how it's going to perform around here. If it's going to get a hold up or not. If we do get a hold up, okay, great. We could go, we could go a little bit lower than. Oh, sorry. If we do get a hold up, we could get a rebound. But if we break this area, then yeah, we could go lower. This would confirm a forthcoming lower low. At the moment, like I said, at the moment I'm just observing this one. I'm watching. I'm not doing anything. I'm just like I said, taking as it is. If we, like I said, if you manage to capture this trade, great. Now it's your time to maybe exit, or if you want to gamble a little bit more, you want to see, okay, you can do that. Whatever you're comfortable with. But just like I said, it's my question: how it's going to play around here. Will it actually hit this level exactly, or will it actually, reverse a little bit earlier, maybe to the upside or something, like for a little retracement? USD JPY, boom, guys, there we go. I talked about this, and I said that yesterday I said that as long as we stay above the 139.39 level, I am going to aim higher. Yesterday I talked about this as well. I said that, look, my next target is the 141 level, then 141.50, but hey, we've kind of that exceeded all my expectations. Okay, that just presents itself with a nice opportunity maybe to go short later on at some point, but not now. Looking at this picture, I said before to you guys, I'm targeting this 147.65, guys, and well, yeah, these are the levels of 1998. So the highest point of 1998 near the 147.65. That's going to be my target. I would like to see this going all the way there, because, well, that could be quite interesting actually. We do have that steep up move, but whatever goes up eventually has to come down. But when will that be the case? I'm not sure yet. I'm waiting for that reversal signal. At the moment, I'm not getting it, so yeah, might as well just continue targeting the upside. USD CHF. So this one's a little bit on the moderate side. Yeah, we had a nice reversal here, and again, I'm aiming for that 0.9886 zone. I want to see what's going to happen here. If we can break this or not. If we can, great. Okay, we could go higher, but at the moment, I really stopped liking it. Okay, it already did what I wanted it to do, so okay, so that's great. Now what we can do next is probably keep our eyes on this upside line. If we continue to trade above it, yes, great, I'll go higher. If we struggle and we eventually break it at some point, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting, and we could consider maybe a bit of a retracement here. GBP USD, so it was quite interesting initially. It was pushing higher. Of course, in UK they have a new prime minister, so a lot of positive words. As always, every prime minister, every politician kind of always gives you the positive. It gives you what you want to hear. So maybe that was the good boost initially that we had here on GBP. But then, yeah, kind of the market came back to reality, kind of snapped out of it, and there we go. We're now drifting back down. The US dollar is a little bit on the stronger side right now, and that's what the result we're getting. So I'm still aiming for my 1.14 level here. If we do reach this, I'll take it from there. So for now, like I said, that's my target. That's the lowest point of March of 2020, so I want to see what's going to happen there. I'm not going to say anything yet. Maybe it will align itself nicely with that little correction in the US dollar, and we could see GBP rebounding from here and pushing back maybe to this downside line. Let's see how it's going to play out, but again, at the moment I'm targeting that 1.14 level. GBP JPY, boom, there we go. The yen, of course, is suffering right now, and most importantly, we broke this downside line. Look at this, and we've tested it. We rebounded from it today. Okay, so that's perfect. Let me tidy up this chart a little bit because it's a little bit of a mess. I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but for sure I am keeping an eye on this highlighted zone right there, which is roughly between the 168.43 and the 168.73 levels. This is going to be my target for now, which I'm going to go for slowly. Initially, my target is the 166.25, which is around here. I'm aiming for that right now. I want to see what's going to happen, and if we can you know, get a hold up here initially, and then if, you know, after some trading activity, can we get a nice strong break here towards that highlighted zone? Let's have a look. Euro JPY, so also pushing nicely to the upside. The yen, as you probably understood now, the yen is the problem. It's kind of yeah, on the weaker side, and but here on Euro JPY we did get a nice hold up near this 142.37. Can we continue to trade higher? Well, I would say as long as we stay above this area right now, then yes, I'll go further north towards that 144.25 level marked by the highest point of June, and near the highest point, actually near the highest point of June here, I would say. So that's a good target, 144.25. Let's see if we can reach that, but I'll aim for that only if we stay above. Right now at this point in time we stay above the 142.37. If we start dropping back below it, I'll take a bit of a neutral stand, because maybe we could see a bit of a retracement or something like that, so, you know, towards this upside line right here. But it's a tentative line, but nevertheless I'm going to keep an eye on it. And finally, EURUSD, before well, actually I already ran out of time, but I hope you'll stick around with me a little bit. EURUSD, again, initially tried to push higher, but then declined. Everything, the dollar is on the stronger side, so the same logic here, the same picture. But what I said to you yesterday is that if we do drop and stay below the 0.9878 level here, this highlighted one, then yes, I will go lower. We did get a brief drop below it, and we then failed to stay below it. Now again, we're coming close to it. I'm not gonna pick up the low of yesterday. I mean, I'm going to keep an eye on it, of course, but if we start dropping already below the 0.9878 level, I'll start aiming lower. Then of course I'll keep an eye on the low of yesterday, and if that gets cleared, boom, you know, this is where I will be in a much sweeter position. And then let's say if it drops lower, if it goes further south, then at least I can put my stop loss on yesterday's low here when I'll be in profit. And then, you know, if it reverses against me, at least I'll, you know, take out some of the profit here. Not much maybe, but still, you know, I'm not going to be in a minus. So long story short, guys, for now I am looking at the downside here. However, I need that confirmation break first. I'm not going to do anything until I get that confirmation break, and again, then we'll go from there. If it suddenly starts pushing back above the this is where I think I need to adjust a few things maybe. Yeah, let me grab a new line. If we start pushing above today's high, the current highest point of today, near the 0.9906, then yeah, we'll consider maybe a bit of a retracement here back to the upside. But again, I would like to see that. Then, if we do break this, I would like to see the pair staying above it. If we cannot stay above it, well, we could, you know, again, we could start examining the downside. So let's see how this is gonna play out. Now then, guys, I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Just a quick reminder again that there won't be any Traders Espresso tomorrow and Friday. I hope you found the session useful. I'll see you on Monday, guys. Have a wonderful trading day today, tomorrow. So don't forget that we have, and let me just, I think they yeah, the ECB is coming out. So we have the year GDP, preliminary GDP numbers. And yeah, of course, we do have the ECB interest rate decision. Now, that's going to be quite interesting, guys. A quick suggestion. You might not see maybe a lot of movement during the interest rate announcement, but more maybe during the press conference. So keep that in mind. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.